Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous My Adventures. I'm near Dav's Hope. Is this dark? Make sure my audio's all plugged in. Seems to be. Is this left? I kind of like plugging in Dav's Hope so you can kind of see where it's at. It's over there. You can see it. So we were out, I'm just out roaming and collecting some raw materials and stuff like that. Yeah, this is a Saturday, and a lot of times on Saturdays I just kind of play, and I don't record, and I don't commentary, and I don't do any of that. I'll let you come along and see what's going on. And we do 15 to 30 days worth of pre-release for those that do subscribe and do care about the channel. But I was just out roaming around looking for raw materials. Earlier today I went to the engineer that engineers the burst, pulse, and beam lasers, and I grabbed some extra lasers and some other weapons, and I maxed 2 of the burst lasers, the 3 class, and engineered them to grade 5 with experimental. So they're supposed to be 45% more energy efficient and 27% more damage. So that'll be interesting. But I used up some materials, so that's why I'm kind of out here collecting some materials. And I like Dav's Hope. I think a lot of people like Dav's Hope because if you see all the fleet carriers around here, there's just a ton of them. They're everywhere. Now I play solo, so I don't actually see them in game, but I do see their fleet carriers because there would be quite a few around here if I was in open. Well, sort of. As they say, over 90% play solo. They just don't want to be randomly killed like they can be in open. And I wouldn't like that either. I don't mind shooting at NPCs and in res zones, resource extraction zone sites. I don't care as much about being shot at by real players. But it's a little more relaxing when I'm not doing videos and getting frustrated at the lack of support and all that kind of stuff. So that's why sometimes I just do my own thing. And other times I'll let you just tag along. We're still going to do the pre-release videos for those that do subscribe and do care about the channel. So I'm going to do a little bit of raw material collecting. I'm going to do a little bit of manufactured collecting there at Dav's Hope. So some of it will be near Dav's Hope. and some will be at Dav's Hope, because I've had complaints because I'm out collecting raw materials near Dab's Hope. Well, you're not at Dab's Hope. Well, I'm with almost a stone's throw away from Dab's Hope. Pretty close. And it is a pristine planet, or rated as one. Now, like I said, this video will be made public 2 to 4 weeks from when it was actually recorded. Now, the day right before this was actually recorded, Frontier announced that tritium will go even twice as far as it did just a week ago, a week prior to the recording of this video. So that's pretty cool. It seems to be doing that. So running around in the fleet carrier, and it seems to be getting twice the efficiency, so that's really nice. I have almost 19,000 tons right now of tritium. I could probably handle 1,000 more, so I've been keeping an eye open, so we could do a tritium dash for about 1,000 tons, but it's not real desperate since we can get twice the efficiency now than we did just a week ago. It's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, there's things I really like about this game, and then there's things I really don't like about this game. So there's a little of both. And you usually hear about the things I don't like. And I probably should talk more about the things I do like. I like roaming around on the, like at Dab's Hope and other places. I do like that. I did go buy a raw material trader because I had to, because I needed some to move some materials around for the burst laser engineer. So some of it I'll tell you about what I did, and other things you get to see it happen. I've got plenty of engineer videos. I've got over 1,000 videos out there. Now that Polion, P-O-L-O-N-I-U-M, I don't remember seeing that one. It might be new. I don't remember that one. I've seen it maybe the last couple of days, but maybe it came in on this new one. Looks like there's an upper level over there, but we're not going after uppers anymore since we're doing bounty hunting for ships. I'm up to 46%, I think, competent. So that's pretty good. But I do like it here. That's why I keep coming back here. It's a good place to collect raw materials and manufactured materials. But if you want access to those pre-release videos, you have to help the channel in some way. Like a subscribe. Oh, I know that's a terrible word. For most of the viewers, it's the worst word ever created. Subscribe. So, but if you ever do, you get access to the pre-release videos. Or if you donate or join our Patreon, or put at least 200 units of tritium into the fuel tank of the fleet carrier, and you can go to inera.cz, Galaxy Systems and Stations, and then hit Fleet Carriers and type in RG-FC, and you'll find it. And there's been many to put tritium in our fleet carrier, and they are eligible for the pre-release videos. I've also had people that in the comments somebody will say that they subscribed to our channel, and somebody else will try to piggyback on that and get their subscription or get their pre-release videos so they don't have to subscribe. That's how bad they hate subscription, even though subscribing is free. They try to cheat. It amazes me. So we'll have an additional verification process to just make sure that it's actually the YouTube account holder that the email is linked to. I mean, it's terrible we have to do all that verifying, but too many cheaters. But my videos are come-along videos. Now, I have nearly 7 billion, counting the balance in the fleet carrier and my main balance. I have 4 cutters, 4 pythons, the original Sidewinder, a Vulture, a Fer-de-Lance. Restarted the game 3 separate times, so I would probably have 5 to 7 billion more if I didn't do that. So I mean, if you follow what I do, I mean, you can do pretty good in this game. Now there is a lot of grinding. It is part of this game, is to grind, but you can have fleet carriers and all those things, like I've done. Now I'm more of a cargo or trader. I have elite status in trade, elite status in explorer, and competent in combat. Eventually I'll get to expert, which is before master and before elite and before dangerous. So I still have a long ways to go. But I'm getting to the point where it would take forever to get to elite status in combat. So I don't know if I'll ever get there. I mean, maybe years, maybe. I've only been playing a little over a year. Elite dangerous. And when I get to 10 billion combination between the fleet carrier and my main account, I'm going to slow down on the cargo missions. But we're still going. Well, I'd like to max out the materials eventually, where we just can't take any more. That would be pretty cool. So we're kind of roaming right now, looking for more raw materials. I did use quite a bit. I almost fully modded some pulse lasers. I did fully mod with experimental on 2 burst lasers, class 3s. Sent them to grade 5. So I'm kind of anxious to see how they work. But YouTube gives you 2,000 subscribes, and they're all free. So if you ever get to where you're not allergic to it, all you have to do is set it to public, which in the description I tell you how to do that. Send me an email and we'll go through some verification process, and you can get access to all of those pre-released videos. There's up to 100 of them. Well, could be over 100 of them, because I'm constantly recording, but I only release 1 or 2 a day, and I'm doing maybe 120 a month. So what's nice is I don't have to do that many. I could just spread them out more if I wanted to. So there's some positives about backing off. But it was going to take 7 years to ever get any help from YouTube. I had about 120 videos a month. That's nuts. No, that's not going to work. I'm not going to do that. Now we have got a few more subscribers in the last 30 days, so it did make a little bit of difference. Some of my ranting and complaining. So a few people cared. So, but they get access to the pre-release stuff. Yeah, this huge crater here by Dab's Hope, it's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got skimmers and stingers and lots of materials, and but I'm not doing skimmers and stingers because the support ship's coming down and blasting me and I have no place to hide. If there were caves, like in the side of these hills, if there were caves that you could get into and point the turrets out of the cave and shoot at the ships, then that would be okay. And or if you got more rank for shooting skimmers and stingers, I'd consider shoot stinger and skimmer kills more. Not as worth it. At least in res zones I've got a fighting chance, plus you got security forces that are helping you, and so it's pretty nice. Yeah, that polyum. Yeah, I need to look that up. Because I don't remember that. I think that's new. Yeah, I'm using a VR and it's kind of rough, so you might get a little motion sickness just by watching it. I've heard some that have. We're less than 50% fuel. Now all we have to do is call down the ship, or we can use synthesis and use some of the material, sulfur and phosphorus, to fill the tank back up if we wish. We're about 6 kilometers away from Dab's Hope. Might start heading back that way. In the next video we might do manufactured materials. I saw a ship look like it landed over there, just to the left of Dab's Hope. Or it landed inside the mountain. No, there's another, or it could be another one, or it could be the same one. But I have seen them crash into the planet before. We've made up about a kilometer. When the terrain's kind of rough, it takes a while. Can't just open it up. But I think it will smooth out a little bit shortly. But over the next day or two, we'll collect more raw materials and manufacture materials, and at some point we'll go out to Jameson crash site and we'll collect the encoded materials and some raw materials there too. But we might take the fleet carrier out more, since you can go twice as far on the same amount of tritium. Might just use it more. I used it more today. Place that I had to get the material, or get some, not really materials, but some commodities to unlock the engineer. There was an engineer I hadn't unlocked before. So I took the fleet carrier there, and then I took it to where the engineer was, and then back here to Dav's Hope, because I was at Dav's Hope before I went to the engineer. Knocked off about 3 kilometers. And we might have some material we can collect, raw material, before we get to Dav's Hope. In the next video, we'll do some manufacturing or manufactured material. It's very important to collect materials, because it's very important to engineer mod your modules. Because I have very good shields now. I went bounty hunting, and I don't think I recorded that one, and I had to quit early because my shields were down to 1 ring, and it didn't look like I was gaining on the bad guy, so I had to give up on it. I'm still pretty new at combat, and it's like I didn't want to risk losing the ship and going through the whole rebuy process and stuff. So most of the time that doesn't happen. Most of the time my shields are fine, but every once in a while I'll get caught. It was like a master or an expert or something. They were higher ranked than me, and sometimes they get the best of me, so I'll just let them deal with the security forces for a little bit while I get away. And as soon as you get back to the fleet carrier, your shields go right back to 100% real quick when you're docked. So that was pretty, pretty nice. I could have went back out because my fleet carrier was next to where I do bounty hunting on purpose. I like that, having the fleet carrier nearby. So if it gets a little rough, I can just go back to the fleet carrier. I do appreciate you coming along. I'd appreciate more if you'd support the channel. Make it worth recording over 100 videos a month if I had more backers. But we have very few backers. Yeah, and really no donors, just a few subscribers. But if you want to see more on-time videos right after they're created, you're going to have to subscribe. I'm hoping someday. We've had almost 23,000 views to our videos. So we've received the views. Just can't get the subscribers. So in my come along videos, you hear my frustrations, you hear everything. We just come along and you're like sitting next to me and we're just yakking. So you hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's plenty of bad and ugly. Things that I'm not happy about. Guess he's going to take off. Yeah, I'm not really sure why those ships fly around. I think it's just because the devs decided to do that. I don't know if I ever heard a good explanation of why they do that. There it is. Again, I appreciate you coming along. Be sure to find ways to support our channel. Keep letting you know how you can do that to receive those pre-release videos. Probably do one round while we're here before we end this video. Now there's other sites that are kind of like Dav's Hope, but most of them are not as good. I like Dav's Hope a lot more. I've already scanned the comms. You can do it about once a week or once every other week, something like that. And we'll look up that material. Again, I appreciate you coming along. I think we've gathered all of it. So until the next video, thank you for watching. Goodbye.